Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening. This is really sad for me. It's emotional. So, I have, you know, been on Twitter, I've been on um, Google. So, wow, it's really emotional because I know a lot of people have put, like videos and tributes out, but I guess I wanted to do this in a way where it wasn't just reading other people's thoughts and reading from other people's articles. I felt like this was more special, and so I have some of the photos of her just on the internet, and so these were some positive photos and things that were more upbeat. She was definitely Aretha Franklin was definitely an icon and still is in my book, and a legend. She always will be. And I'm really glad to have been here to see and hear her music, her wonderful music. Um, how I learned of Aretha Franklin was through actually my mother. And it's really hard for me to say this because my mom had passed um, the year before. And one of the song artists that she really enjoyed listening to was Aretha Franklin. There were a lot of other artists that she listened to, but this one lady really stood out. And especially for me, because she was so influential, brave, and she wasn't afraid to be herself. And she would wear natural hairstyles before some of the people you see now, some of the young ladies that are talking about the big chop and wearing their natural hairstyle and being natural. This woman, she was, a woman of matriarch. I say before her time, she was doing all of the things that some women try to do now, to put themselves in a positive light. And this woman was all of that. And, she stood out for me, not only the music, her persona, and the way she carried herself. And there were some times that were very troubling in her life. And what I noticed is that she shares a lot of similar qualities that my mom had. She was very private. She didn't really want a lot of people, to know all of her business, which I don't blame her, Um, she was very private and she kept to herself, but she was very elegant. She had a poise and she was very, um, just don't even have the words, but she was very, very influential in the lives of so many. And so, I guess with that being said, I really feel like there's really no others that can compare to this woman. She really had done a lot and outdone herself in her days. She, put herself out there to help people who were in need. She, the songs that she did that stood out for me was the song Respect and Say a Little Prayer. And then there were a lot of other songs that she sung. Even when she did the Freeway song, the Freeway of Love, I remember a lot of her songs because I remember even, like when I was wee little, we would have these records. This was before the CDs, the tapes, and some of the stuff that the younger people know now. We would have these records, and I remember looking at the records, and we'd have records and the titles of them. Even as a child, I read it. It would say Motown or Atlantic Records. And so we would have this big, huge stereo, like phonograph, where you play your records, and you have to put that little move that little stick over and then play the records. And we would hear Aretha Franklin, James Brown, the Four Tops, Gladys Knight and the Pips. We would hear like all kinds of music as a kid growing up. I guess I was fortunate enough to hear some of the great singers, and this woman was definitely it. And she always will be in my book. And I really enjoyed her music and still to this day do. And this was one of my mom's favorite artists um, out of so many, um, especially her. And I believe too, because she had this voice that was really angelic, because it was more from the standpoint of the church and what my mother was raised on and grew up in during that time, especially in the deep South. So I just really was a little broken by the whole thing. I know people don't always stay around forever, but it's just sad how she went, of course. But she definitely lived a really wonderful life in terms of that the influence that she's given so many in that sense, and the music as such a gift that will live on forever. So maybe in body she may not be present, but she is, and she'll always live on through her music and her songs. And we can always refer back and listen to those songs, and you can think about some of the things that are said in the songs and lyrics, and how it can benefit you, I guess, in your own life, especially the respect song. I feel like it's so much needed, especially in the Black community, especially, in terms of Black females, because there isn't a lot of respect. And this woman, the way she sung that song was like she demanded respect, but not only just for women alone, but for everyone. And so in an interview, she even talked about how everyone deserves some levels, even more than just the level. Everyone deserves respect of some sort. But the thing is, it's just sad. So I look at it as this: on the flip side, that she's in a better place, and my mother is there to hear this wonderful music and enjoy it. And we also can hear it and enjoy it. And her music lives on, and she is definitely an icon and a legend. Um, Even when she was present, and even though she's moved on to a better place, she'll still always be an icon and a legend. So, well wishes to the family and the friends and the people who have given tributes to this woman. I mean, she deserves so much. So, with that being said, I think I've seen a few. Um, there's been several people who have given her, you know, um, tributes. So I try to stay away from some of the negativity that's out there, because there has been some articles that were really like not so great. Um, of course. So anyway, I don't know if this is going to play or not. So I'm going to tap on it, and then I'm going to end this video. My baby is who I am.
I'm in it for the long run. So I'll be around singing what you want.